I wish I could let you live, but when it comes to murdering people, I guess you could say...
You're hooked.
What? What'd you say?
I guess you could say you're hooked. That's what you were gonna say.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Pretty sure it is.
No, it's not.
Your whole personality is hooks, man.
There's other hook things you can say.
All right, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say... The hook stops here.
The Chosen One. A trope that's proven to be tried and true throughout televised and cinematic history. Whether the fate of the world rests in the hands of an adult or a young child, whoever it is, the Chosen One will always be bound to do something great. And when it's all said and done, and they end up beating the big, bad, evil bad guy, they're often celebrated and heralded as a hero. But what happens after that?
Wow, thank you so much, everyone, for seeing me off like this. What can I say about this job? You know, it has not been good, and I have not enjoyed it. And I am very happy to be done with it.
Meet Gary, an employee of the Demon Ministry who's been hunting demons for the past 30 years, ever since he was deemed as the Chosen One during his high school days. As you could probably guess, he's certainly seen some horrific and pretty terrifying things in his line of work. Whether it's shapeshifters, Bloody Mary, or a succubus, he's seen it all. Of course, he wants to give the whole thing up and finally retire, but he's actually stuck into this job until a new Chosen One is found. And so instead of telling a story about Gary saving the world or defeating insert villain name here, the plot focuses on a more typical day in Gary's life and how he's holding up in his job as the Chosen One. Now the first few episodes in, after we see Gary handle these different demon encounters, you get the sense that while he still may be good at his job, he certainly will pass his glory days. And unlike other shows with your Chosen One protagonist where supporting and secondary characters do everything they can to either help or stop this hero, depending on which side they're on, it never really feels like anyone regards Gary as someone of great importance for his job. Not even his parents.
How could you be this proud of Steve? He's an accountant! I literally hunt demons every day!
Oh, what? Do you? I haven't heard that mentioned like 5 seconds. That's new. Is that his occupation, Mom?
And it's this kind of dynamic that the show likes to play around with. The idea that nobody cares. And with a mindset like this, you're often left with the impression that until Gary finds a replacement, he's essentially stuck in this sort of mundane, dead-end office job. But while he's still working for the Demon Ministry, he still gets the support and assistance from his co-workers Leslie and Hanley, who in my opinion are two well-made supporting characters. You have his boss Leslie, who's like a motherly figure with a really chipper attitude, trying to support Gary and get him to open up to those around him, but still tries to sugarcoat things when a situation gets out of hand. Hanley's the lovable sidekick who recently changed roles to assist Gary with his demon hunting. He tends to err on the side of caution and always wants to do his job with both compassion and by the book, which in turn provides some funny interactions between him and Gary, and keeps their partnership interesting. As for Gary, he certainly fits into the whole broken protagonist trope, where he does certain actions to save or help someone, but emotionally feels burdened for basically being the only one who could have done said action in the first place. And it's this burden that essentially makes him both bitter and pessimistic about his own life, thus leading him to have a sometimes self-destructive behavior and often insult others and closes himself off to those around him, but in the end, can still be seen as someone with a heart of gold. I originally found this show when I saw Mondo Media, the show's production company, post the first episode on YouTube. When browsing the comments, I noticed a lot of people were comparing Gary to other adult cartoon protagonists, with most of the comparisons being to Rick Sanchez. And after watching the series, I can totally see where they're coming from.
Wait a minute, what? Away we go!
Overall, it's a pretty good show. It's filled with great characters and interactions, has an interesting way of showing demon hunting from a more relatable and mundane perspective, and has this dark humor to it mixed with a heavily improvised writing style that still feels natural to the viewer. So if you enjoy the writing style of something like Rick and Morty, then this is the show for you, just with far less cynical and narcissistic characters. In regards to the art style, I'm not gonna lie, the character designs look like they were drawn in Microsoft Paint, but that's not a bad thing. I really enjoyed this show's art style with its thin lines, slick fight scenes, and expressive character animations that really help emphasize the voice actor's tone when they are reading their lines. Now, when watching a series that has a chosen one element to it, the thought usually drives itself to an end goal of saving the world or stopping some villain. But with Gary and his demons, there really isn't an end goal to it, or at least not an obvious one. You could certainly find opportunities throughout the series in which the story could have driven itself towards, whether it's finding a new chosen one, fighting some big bad demon boss, or a quest to revive a lost loved one. Now, I'm not seeing any of these events actually happen, but when these kind of situations present themselves in the show, it's either done very subtly or not at all. And by the time you reach the end, everything just feels anticlimactic. Now, whether or not you'd approve of this type of ending is entirely up to you, but when you think about it, this show has been trying to convey to you that this isn't your typical chosen one story ever since the first episode. Nobody cares that Gary's the chosen one. There is no main quest line. Gary is past his glory days. There isn't anything of importance left for him to do. This is nothing more than Gary and his demons. Hey there peeps, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button as it really does help the channel out. But yeah, if you've seen Gary and his demons before, what'd you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And to those interested in checking it out, I put a link to the first episode in the description, so feel free to give that a gander. Alright, I think that'll be it for today. Hope you have a nice day, and with that, I shall see you all next time.